One day after he went missing from his rich Chicago neighborhood, the 14-year-old Bobby Franks was found stuffed in a drainage pipe. The son of a millionaire had been beaten with a chisel and suffocated with a rag. In a crude attempt to conceal his identity, his face and genitals were burned with hydrochloric acid. Even before his family received a ransom note, their boy was already dead. Yet just as shocking as Franks's gruesome murder in 1924 were the identities of the young men accused of such brutality. Nathan Leopold and Richard Loeb, the privileged sons of two of Chicago's most prominent families. And even more shocking was that Loeb and Franks were cousins. Nathan Leopold and Richard Loeb were teenagers living in a wealthy Chicago suburb when they were arrested for murder. Loeb had recently graduated at 17 years old from the University of Michigan and planned to begin law school in the fall. He was obsessed with the idea of the perfect crime. His neighbor, a brilliant young man, Nathan Leopold, was a law student and a believer in Friedrich Nietzsche's concept of the Superman, the idea that it is possible to rise above good and evil. The two boys seemed an odd match. Dickie, as Loeb was called, charmed everyone with his good looks and cool manner. Awkward-looking Nathan Leopold tended to hide in his friend's shadow, but the two young men formed a powerful bond. Nathan was in love with Richard and would do anything he wanted for sexual favors. He later wrote, "Loeb's friendship was necessary to me, terribly necessary." His motive for the murder, he said, was to please Dick. Leopold and Loeb hatched a plan to commit the perfect crime. It was not so much the idea of murder that attracted them, but the idea of getting away with murder. On May 21, 1924, Leopold and Loeb lured a young neighbor boy, 14-year-old Bobby Frank, into their car. They killed him with a chisel and stuffed his body in a culvert. The next morning, the Frank family received a special delivery letter, a ransom note demanding $10,000 in unmarked bills for the return of the boy. Before Mr. Frank could pay the ransom, police discovered the child's body. There was nothing linking the criminals to the crime except for a single pair of glasses. Police traced the glasses to a Chicago optometrist who had prescribed them for Nathan Leopold. If he hadn't lost his glasses, Leopold and his friend Loeb might have indeed gotten away with murder. Leopold's and Loeb's parents hired the best and most expensive criminal attorney they could find, Clarence Darrow. Darrow knew his clients would be convicted. His goal, as always, was to save them from the death penalty. The whole nation kept up with every detail of the Leopold and Loeb trial with fascination and repulsion. Chicago's WGN radio even considered broadcasting the trial live on air, but decided it wasn't appropriate entertainment to send to families in their living rooms. The trial reached its climax with Clarence Darrow's closing argument, delivered over 12 hours in a sweltering courtroom. Darrow admitted the guilt of his clients, but argued that forces beyond their control influenced their actions. Law professor Philip Johnson describes Darrow's argument this way: "Nature made them do it, evolution made them do it, Nietzsche made them do it, so they should not be sentenced to death for it." Darrow convinced the judge to spare his clients. Leopold and Loeb received life in prison. In 1936, Richard Loeb was killed in a prison fight with another inmate. In 1958, after 34 years behind bars, Nathan Leopold was released from prison. He died in 1971. Thank you for watching this video. Please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and also subscribe for more. See you next time. Bye.